Today we're back working on the workbench. I've already got 2 mortises cut on the legs for the cross braces, and I need to cut 2 more. I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys how I'm cutting them. Okay, so now you can see that I've got a through mortise right here that I've made, and I've measured up from the bottom up to the base of the mortise, and it's 8.5 inches high. Now what I did was I marked an inch off of this outside edge and then another inch on the side of that. So when I make my tenon, I've got to make sure that I measure appropriately. Now this is a lot of wood that I had to remove, and I didn't do it all by chisel. What I did was use a bracing bit, and then I drilled 3 separate holes to remove most of the material that's in there, and then use the chisel to clean it up. It's very simple. Let's go ahead and see how I did it. For this first part, I'm only using pretty much 3 tools: a yardstick, speed square, and a bevel gauge. Now, like I said, I measured up from the bottom and got 8.5 inches. I can take the speed square, mark across, measure up 3 inches again, mark across on that. Now the next tricky part, because you want to make the legs parallel with the ground, but you have to make the mortise the same angle as the base. So what I've done is I've already marked off on my bevel gauge the 16 degrees that I need to have, and all I gotta do is move it around until I can actually work on it, is lay it on the side and then draw your 2 lines that you need to work off of. Then you take the 2 marks, the 1-inch marks, and you mark down on the 1 inch and then on the 2 inch, and then you would flip it over and repeat to get your marks. Alright, now I've got to get this middle section mainly drilled out so I don't chew up my chisel too much. And everything's going to be at an angle. One thing that you don't want to do is go not steep enough or go too steep near this end where it won't follow the path of that. Now you can obviously cut a 2x4 and put it right here with the 16 degrees. That way you can kind of keep it eyed up. But it wasn't too difficult. I just stayed about 1/4 of an inch off of this main line on both sides, and then I didn't have to worry about going outside of where my mortise should have been cut. Let's go ahead and get this thing drilled. Okay, so now you can see that I've gotten 3 holes that have been drilled into this, and all I'm going to do now is take, because the gap in between these 2 lines is 1 inch, I'm just going to take my 1-inch chisel and I'll start on one end and work back and forth, clearing out the rest of all the material. But you got to keep in mind of which way your bevel's got to go, and they're both going up this way. So with a little bit of sweat and a half hour later, I've got 4 beveled mortises that match the base of the leg and the top of the legs at 16 degrees. I made the entire thing from using hand tools, bracing bit, and chisels. It's very simple to make. You don't need power tools to get the same exact results. All I have to do now is cut out the tendons for the cross braces to match, and then put them together and assemble the top, and the workbench should almost be done. So stay tuned for more on Workbench Build 2013, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos on woodworking and blacksmithing.